Hello. My name is Peter Robbins. I've been involved in UFO studies for more than 20 years. As a researcher, lecturer, best-selling author, and now as head of the UFO Media Division at Central Park Media. I can tell you from experience that each year, more and more people are taking this subject seriously, and as we move into the new millennium, this trend shows no sign of slowing down. That is why we are proud to present the UFO Experience video series. Recorded live at Omega Communications' annual UFO conference, these tapes contain the complete and unedited testimony of the experts, what they said with no obtrusive media-style sound bites. If your customers are interested in the truth about UFOs, then this is the video series for them. Our speakers are the best in the field, and many of their talks are illustrated with slides and video. All have lectured internationally and been featured guests on national television and radio shows. They are all published authors, and many have written bestsellers. But let's take a look at some clips from the series. Stanton T. Friedman is a nuclear physicist. He is also an internationally recognized UFO expert and the original investigator of the Roswell incident. This is from his talk, Physics and Flying Saucers.
Now, I want to show you a UFO picture that I don't think you've seen before. This isn't the one I know you haven't seen before. This is Vancouver, British Columbia. Since I live in Canada, I have to show the main picture. Investigated by Dr. Richard Haynes, used to work for NASA, retired now. And I want to show you the enlargement of it. And if that looks like any conventional aircraft that was observable in 1980 or 81, I'll eat the hat that I'm not wearing today. It's not a helicopter for sure. It's not an airplane, etc.
UFO visitations are nothing new. In fact, there is strong evidence that space travelers have visited this planet since prehistoric times. The pioneer researcher in this area is Erich von Däniken. He has written 21 books on the subject, which have sold over 60 million copies internationally. This clip is from In Search of Ancient Astronauts.
From my TV special, Chariots of the Gods, you may remember the case of the islands of Bebak, where the natives constructed aircrafts in wood and straw, and they worship these objects as something from another dimension. So in this case, the natives had absolutely no idea of technology. They didn't even know what an aircraft was. They simply copied the outside of something which they believed was holy and it belonged to some god. Our planet is full of such examples. I know what I'm talking about. I published 21 books on the subject. The result of the visits by extraterrestrials were on one side handed down in holy books, legends and myths, and on the other side in copies of misunderstood technology.
David Jacobs is an associate professor of history at Temple University and teaches the most popular university course on UFOs in the country. He is also a highly regarded authority on the alien abduction phenomenon. Here, Professor Jacobs speaks on the threat, what the aliens want, and how they plan to get it.
So people are being abducted routinely over and over and over and over and over again over the course of their lives. Not only that, but we discovered something else. So this is an intergenerational phenomenon. If a person is abducted, there's a very good possibility that their mother or their father was an abductee as well. And if that's the case, unfortunately, there is a possibility that this might be transferred onto the children.
Dr. John Mack is a psychiatrist and a professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. He is also a Pulitzer Prize winner, founder of the Department of Psychiatry at Cambridge Hospital, and a highly regarded authority on the alien abduction phenomena. His talk is entitled Alien Abductions: Exploring Possible Meanings in Human Evolution.
A theory, however, has to cover 5 major dimensions of the phenomena. The consistency of the reports among people from all over who don't know each other, down to minute detail. Right? 2, the physical accompanying phenomena, that people, it's out of the house. It's not just out of the body, as Bud says, that people are not there. And there are many cases where there are witnesses who say the person is missing. This is not simply a psychological matter. 3rd, children as young as 2 years old report this phenomenon with great feeling and with nosebleeds and marks, and they'll point in the sky with fear and say, "Mom, Mother, go up in ship, little man, bite my nose, take me up, play with me," 2 years old. Personality theory is going to have to really stretch to include those 2-year-olds, and I have several of them in my practice. The absence of a psychiatric condition. These are healthy people, by and large, who have been traumatized. These are not people who have a psychiatric disorder. There is not a single case where one of these accounts was explained on the basis of a psychiatric disorder. That's only 4. What is the 5th? Interesting to forget this. The association with UFOs, okay?
Dr. Roger Lear has been a podiatric surgeon for more than 30 years and is leading the effort to recover alleged alien implants, small, manufactured objects found under the skin, high up in the nasal cavities, and even in the heads of UFO abductees. This clip is from The Aliens and the Scalpel: Breakthrough Research on Alien Implants.
Medical analysis revealed the objects were housed in biological jackets and had been surgically implanted. The surrounding tissue showed no signs of inflammation or scarring from a previous surgery. By medical standards, the absence of inflammation is impossible. Scanning electron microscopy conducted at Los Alamos Laboratory revealed an unknown biomechanical manufacturing process was used to connect the implants to the subject's nerve endings. A battery of tests for structural, chemical, mechanical, and electromagnetic analysis were conducted by New Mexico Tech Laboratory. Most of the metal present could only be referenced to extraterrestrial elements found in rare meteorites. Scientists concluded the implants were of extraterrestrial origin and could not have been manufactured on Earth.
Bud Hopkins is the most highly visible figure in the world of UFO studies today and is internationally recognized as the father of alien abduction studies. Here he talks on children, the youngest abductees.
This is one of the most touching and disturbing aspects of the abduction phenomenon, and it's one that is in a certain sense very, very raw and available to the investigator. It is also a situation where all the therapeutic skills that anybody has learned along their life can be useful, because children are often extremely traumatized, and the parents are feeling in most cases extremely helpless to handle these situations. And I've developed a projective test, which I will show you, which has been very, very effective in helping uncover the basic traumas and experiences of these little children. We use this with kids from the ages of even 2.5 up to about 8 or 9.
UFOs are real, and their occupants have abducted human beings. Space travelers have visited Earth since prehistoric times. A joke? A hoax? Science fiction? Check out these tapes and decide for yourself. Who owns the truth? Your customers can with the UFO Experience video series, because the truth is not out there, it's here.